launch of our 3 newest holiday/Christmas products. And just as a little bit of housekeeping or just a little disclosure, I'm not live in the video. I am pre-recording this, just a busy schedule with lots of things happening, and so I'm pre-recording the video. I am, however, going to be live down in the comments. So if you have questions, still feel free to ask them, and I will be joining you in the comments section live, answering those questions and just having a chance to say hello and interact with everybody. You may have seen in our Facebook group, I mentioned that I had a family member have a medical emergency recently. And so I've been kind of missing all of you. I haven't had a chance to be able to spend much time in the Facebook group, and I haven't had a chance to see everyone's beautiful projects as much. And I'm excited to be here with you tonight, though, so I can get a chance to catch up and be with you all and talk to you. So again, live in the comments, and I'm super excited to be there and to have a chance to chat. But tonight, first of all, let me go with what is special about launches. Launches, we try to have something fun that is a free gift with order or with purchase. Tonight, we have something really, really fun. I'm going to do a little demo of this later, but our free gift with purchase is this very, very cute little pink Queen & Company desk vacuum. It is super fun to work with. Earlier, I was playing with it, and I took a bunch of these cute little pink toppings and I spilled them all over my desk, and then I let my little vacuum, here, let me open the box, I'll show you, vacuum them up, and it made very quick work out of cleaning up a topping spill, and I have topping spills more often than I care to admit. And this really fun, cute vacuum just cleaned that right up for me. So maybe towards the end I'll do a little demo of how this cute little thing works, but that is the free with purchase. And just to be clear, you do have to spend $125, and that is before your shipping and taxes and any discounts that you apply. Gift cards are okay, but if you're going to use rewards or anything like that, you have to be able to hit $125 before you hit that threshold, or before that gift will kick in, and excluding any other discounts. So let me set those things back aside. What are we going to go through tonight? We have 3 new products launching. We have this one here, our Silent Night kit. This one here is our Naughty or Nice kit. And then these 2 here reflect our new Holiday Foundation Dies Set 2. So we're going to be getting into all of that and going through what's in them, showing you some samples of what's in them, having some fun assembling some of the parts of those kits. It's going to be awesome. First of all, as I get ready to show you some things that are in the Naughty and Nice kit, I want to ask a couple questions because I'm super curious how holidays work at your house. Who is already playing Christmas music, and who has their tree up or is getting ready to put their tree up, and who is not ready for that and believe Thanksgiving maybe should be first or fall should be celebrated first? Let me know which camp you are in, and then I'll let you guess which camp I am in the comments, okay? And I'll answer you in the comments live. Okay, so first of all, here is a look at all of the shapes in the Naughty or Nice shaker card kit. Isn't that fun? So you've got your Santa Claus, you've got your fun little car that carries home its Christmas tree, the ice skates, the Santa sack with all of the floral picks that can come out of that, and the bow, which works great on multiple shapes. You've got the sled, and you've got your Naughty or Nice meter. All right, so let me put that aside. That's what's in this kit. Also included is a die cutting guide that shows you which dies are needed in order to assemble each of your shapes. And of course, some of them are optional. The Santa sack can go with or out the greenery. Same thing for the sled or any other, little holly on the ice skates, again, optional. So you can kind of take a look and see that this kit is fun. Santa here is our most complicated shape, but most of them are actually pretty simple. The car is pretty simple. You can add the tree, or you can just use it on a non-Christmas project with just the car. It's pretty simple. The Naughty or Nice meter only has 2 dies. These 2 are actually on the same, they're connected, those 2 dies. And so you could actually use this to label it for lots of other things. things you want a meter for. Naughty or Nice is the easiest, but you could use it for other things too. The sled you can see is pretty simple. So I like that this Christmas kit, we were able to make it not as complicated as some of our other shapes have been. So included in the kit is your die cutting guide showing you how to assemble all of the shapes. So let's set that over here. Let's take a closer look at all of the dies that are included in this kit, because even though it's not as complicated as others, there's a lot of really great ones. So I've got them organized here by shape. This one here, of course, is the Santa sack. There is the Santa sack shape. And here are all of the additional pieces that can be used with it. Optional, of course, but you have your 2 layers for making your candy cane. Lots of little tiny great greenery pieces that you can cut in multiple shades of green. A bow that you could cut in different colors to accent your bag. And then this die here is meant to cut out little holly berries that actually line up with the little berries on some of your shapes here that you can add to your greenery. That's what those dies are, and they translate over to other shapes as well, so just keep that in mind. That is one. These here are the dies for our Santa Claus in the chimney. So there's your chimney piece. And here are the dies, or the die, that creates kind of that mortar in between the bricks so that you look like you have a brick chimney. Then all the little pieces you need to make Santa are in here too. You have all of the white for his beard and his gloves and his hat and his mustache and the tip of his hat all connected on one, so the cutting of those white pieces out is simple. Some snow if you wish to have drifted snow at the top of your chimney. This is his face, this is his nose and eyes, his gloves, this is his arms. So those are the pieces for Santa. Let's see if I can put that here. Okay, and these are the car pieces, plus you have these great tree pieces. Now we could have just given you the one little tree piece, it's cute just like that, but it does come in layers so that you can actually have fun cutting maybe multiple shades of green with your tree, or if you just want to have that extra dimension. We went ahead and made that tree a little fancier just for the fun of it. You can choose which way works better for you. On this little die here that is connected, so whoops, so that when you drop them like I just did, you don't lose all the pieces. This is the stem for the tree, one of the headlights, and the center of the wheels on your car. And speaking of car, here are the dies for the car. Right here, these are your window pieces here, and your wheel. You'll cut 2 of those. And then this is like your little runner or bumper, whatever you want to call that. But those are the pieces for your car. And the tree is really versatile. You could use that with a lot of different things, including other shapes in this kit. And then, like I said earlier, the meter is real simple. You just have this one die that cuts out your meter, and then this is the little needle. And the fun thing about this shape is that you can use your needle to customize what you're indicating. So, for example, your meter can say nice or naughty. And we've given you some fun sentiments in this kit that we'll go through in a minute that allows you to have some fun with the way you use that meter. Okay, and as you can see, this one's the ice skate. There's your blade. This one is for some decorative color on your ice skate. The skate itself. This one's kind of fun. This bow is very versatile and can be used for lots of different things. These are the stitches on your ice skate and the berries on your holly. Again, all connected as if you wanted to cut all of the red items all together to save you some time and also keep you from losing those little berries. Here's your holly, if you wish. Totally optional, but fun. And then last but not least, actually maybe even my favorite in this particular kit, is the sled. And it's another easy set to put together. Here's your sled die. These are your runners. This is just a little decorative piece for the top of your sled. And this is actually your rope handle. So those all come together to look like that. There it is. Okay, so those are all the dies in the kit. And also in the kit, of course, you get your foam pieces. Our kits are famous for making shaker cards easy with our foam pieces. You can see here this particular shape is the bag, the car, etc. And our foam, if you're kind of new to Queen & Company, is self-adhesive. It has liners you can pull back, and then it's sticky on both sides. And then we also pre-cut your little acetate liners. That's what's in this baggie. There's 3 of each shape, 3 foam pieces and 3 acetate pieces in each kit to make it easy for you to create all of your shakers. This kit has 6 shapes, and so you have 18 total shakers that you can make with this kit. Lots of fun options there. So they actually come in sheets like this. I just popped out a few of them for visual purposes here. So those are the foam pieces. Let's talk about the paper pad that comes with it. Now the paper just recently arrived. Matter of fact, I've only had the kit myself a couple of days, few days here, because I've been, Wendy is very sweet. She knows I've been dealing with some family medical stuff, and so she's been sweet, and other designers have made our cards tonight. I'm not going to be showing you mine until next week when I get to wrap them up, but the paper also arrived kind of late, so I actually don't even have the actual paper. I've got prototype paper that we print ourselves, but this is what it looks like, and it's one of my favorite stacks that we've done because it has those traditional red and greens, but then I snuck in some lighter red and also just some of these fun blue, navy. I love navy, and also just some of this more aqua, pretty turquoise color. And so you've got some fun options for sticking traditional or spicing it up just a little. And how fun are some of those patterns? You've got your light bulbs, your Christmas lights. You've got this gorgeous stripes, your tone on tones as usual, some fun polka dots, some fun holly berries in 2 different styles. So if you like traditional, plus of course you got your winter shades. So if you're going to go for the more of the winter approach, depends on what you're looking for. Some fun stuff in this paper pad. Plus this paper pad especially, I love these more wintry colors and papers. Looks great with the shaped shaker kit I'm going to show you after we're done with this one. Okay, but anyways, so we've got the die guide, the dies, the foam, the paper. Okay, next up, the stamp set. And there are some really fabulous sentiments in this particular kit. Let me bring it up to the camera a little bit. He's making a list and checking it twice. Congrats, you made the nice list. Like I said, you can have some fun with the sentiments in this, depending on how you want to use that meter. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Wishing you a festive Christmas. The nice list is overrated. Maybe if you've got your meter on naughty, it's good to point out that that's not all that important. Santa's naughty or nice meter. So unlike some other sets, we've got a couple stamps here that are meant to be used with the shakers on the shaker themselves. So where's the meter here? Here's the meter. So the stamp set includes the stamps that you need in order to add your titles on your meter if you want. Optional, of course, but if you want to make it look like the example, then the stamps that you need, so there's naughty, there's nice, they're here in the stamp set. 1 day of coal, 364 days of fun. So again, however you want to use that meter, right? This Christmas, may you laugh and play and jingle all the way. Fun for a lot of shapes, especially maybe that sled. Wishing you snowflakes, friendship, and winter cheer. You could take those the ice skates and not worry about holidays whatsoever. Just make that into a fun winter card. Happy freezing season. Same thing. Sled or ice skates can do both of those. Wondrous winter wishes. Again, same type of theme. Happy holidays. This Totally Worth It is meant to be mixed and matched with this one here. 1 day of coal, 364 days of fun, totally worth it. So that's why that's how those go together. Or you are so getting coal, again, if you've got somebody on the naughty list. May your Christmas be warm and cozy. Deck the halls. North Pole special delivery. This can be stamped either near or on Santa's bag. Let's open this up. There it is. So a Santa sack, maybe if you want to go more traditional, you can just stamp that either right on the bag, or it can be a sentiment that you add to it. And just a plain Merry Christmas. So I think I caught them all. But fun stamp set, lots of choices that mix and match or go well with other Christmas kits you might already have. All right, also in the kit, there's a lot of things in this kit, are toppings. And there's a beautiful set of pearls and diamonds in this particular kit. You've got your pearls in that fun navy blue color. And again, we never have enough navy blue, I feel like. White. And let's do the pearls. Red pearls. And these pretty light blue ones. Green. And then also your diamonds in a nice, pretty dark green, clear red, and a pretty turquoise color or aquamarine color. So lots of fun topping options. That should take you pretty far. And that is the Naughty or Nice kit. That's everything in that kit. And a little later, I'll go through and we'll have fun maybe assembling a few of these, and I'll show you how to put these shapes together, some of them at least. So let me stack these up and get everything out of the way. And let's go over to my desk and we can take a look at a few of our design team's samples that they have made with this kit. They've made some really beautiful stuff. I love the talent we've assembled. I think both our customers and our design team members are crazy talented, and we're very lucky to have them. So let's go take a look at what we've got from them. Let's see. Pull up the photos. There they are. Okay. Oh, we're a little ahead of ourselves though. Let's back up. In case you missed it earlier, this is a look at our free gift with purchase. This is a little tiny mini craft table-sized vacuum, and I'll do a demo of that later. But back to Naughty or Nice kit. This is from Marianne. Actually, I think all of our Naughty and Nice samples are from Marianne, and she knocked it out of the park. Fantastic samples with this. Let's see if I can adjust the way that's displaying though. For some reason, it looks like it doesn't want to show you the whole card the way I had intended. Let's try that again. Drag that over just a bit. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just going to do what it's going to do. Best laid plans. I had that so it would look just right, and it doesn't want to cooperate, but maybe we'll go a little bigger and that will work better. Let's try like that. There we go. A little bit better at least. Her samples are so gorgeous, we definitely want to get them as big as we can. All right, so first one, well, let me just make some comments first of all. Isn't this pretty? She's chosen perfect papers to complement her Santa sack. Her greenery is absolutely gorgeous. I love the way she tucked a couple of candy canes in there. So a really beautiful job with the Santa sack. And here is her cute take on the car taking its Christmas tree home. I love how she added all of the beautiful snowflakes from, I think that's our original Holiday Foundation set. I believe that snowflake is from that set. And I love how she even added a bit of scene around her car with not just the snowflakes, but the clouds. And she's got happy freezing season on there. It's a snowy day. It's a gorgeous card. Beautiful job. Here is her take on the Naughty or Nice meter. She's left it on nice, but kept the sentiments a little spicy by saying the nice list is overrated. And I think I recognize that maybe one or two of these samples might be done with some of our more recent sketches, which is awesome. I love seeing the sketches in use. And here's Santa going down the chimney. She's added greenery to this card as well. And look at the beautiful toppings she's added to Santa's white pieces. His beard, his mustache, his hat, his gloves, or his, I guess that's the cuffs on his shirt. And of course the snow on the top of her chimney. That snow is a topping from our Christmas in July release, and I believe it's still available. I'll have to go look in the store to be sure, but that's a fun way to add in some extra texture, and it turned out gorgeous here. And look at the ice skates. Aren't they just so pretty? I love, love, love them. Another one of my favorite shapes from this kit for sure. I love the way that this bow just really jazzes up the ice skates too, and that bow can really be used all over the place. I think it's going to get a good workout as I work on other kits as well. So beautiful job with the ice skates, and what a great background, really showcasing all the pretty colors in pretty patterns in that paper pad. And Mary Ann's take on the sled is just as gorgeous as the rest. I love how she snuck this border out the side of this particular, what would you call it? It's not a rectangle. Rounded edges rectangle? I don't know. But it looks gorgeous like that. And what a fun way to highlight yet another tone-on-tone green color to contrast with her fun tree background paper. So another beautiful card. And I think that's it for Naughty and Nice now. I'll have some done over the weekend to show you next week. But let's take a look at the next kit, which is our Silent Night kit. So let's go back over to my desk, and I'll show you everything that comes in the Silent Night kit. Here is a printout of the photo of that kit. And you can see that it's a little different than our full kits. There's no paper pad in this particular kit and no toppings. It keeps the prices down. There's usually a little fewer shapes. It's a less expensive offering, but it can be mixed and matched with almost any of our paper pads or any of our toppings. So if you already have some of those, it makes a nice economical way to be able to add a shaker kit in this season. Here is a look at the artwork, giving you some general ideas of what is in this kit. you have this beautiful ornament shaker, and it comes with the word Noel meant to be used with it. You get this absolutely beautiful new star in the sky shaker, and the dove with the word peace is an option. And of course, my favorite of all of it, the manger, the baby in the manger, baby Jesus in the manger. So that's the artwork in this particular kit. Lots of fun options. And this kit does come with its own die guide. Here is a look at it. Again, this is not that complicated of a kit. There aren't that many dies with each shape, especially things like the star. So it's much simpler. You can knock out a lot of cards pretty quick with this particular kit. Let's take a close-up look at what is in it. Here are the dies. Like I said, it doesn't take too many dies to create your shapes. This one, of course, the star, and it has this beautiful little inner piece for the star, but also, of course, that could be used standalone for lots of things too, or it can be mixed and matched with the manger too if you want a star over the baby. It's a good option there. And speaking of that manger, here are the dies for that. This is the manger. This is your hay die. And if you want to make it look the same way it is shown in the example, then you're going to want to cut two of these. One's going to go behind your baby and one on front. And speaking of your baby, this is your little body wrapped in a blanket or swaddling clothes, and your baby's head, and of course your little halo there to indicate the divinity of our Savior. All right, and next, here is our dove. And of course, when you cut it, it will be cut this orientation. But there's your dove and your wings. Beautiful there. Makes a really, really pretty statement of your flying dove. And then, of course, an olive branch and peace if you want to add the word. The word, of course, optional, as is the olive branch. But if you want your traditional dove, peace dove, you have all the pieces there. And then isn't this a cool piece? Like, you can do a lot with this particular die. And I love how it turns out. Here is the top, an ornament topper for it. And then your beautiful word die, Noel, which of course when you cut it will be this way, but there's your cut lines. And of course, peace and Noel can be used in all the different cards with or without their shakers. But those are the dies in that kit. And it also comes with a stamp set, a little smaller than what comes in the full kit. This one is 3x4, whereas the other one is in the full kit is 4x6. But still, lots of sentiments in here. We pack them in as much as we can. Joyous Christmas wishes. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Unto us a child is born. Wishing you peace and joy this Christmas. Oh, come, let us adore him. Let there be peace on earth. Silent night, holy night. Or plain O holy night. Or O night divine, lots of options here. Or goodwill towards men. So lots of options that can be sprinkled around all of the shapes in this kit. If you're looking for a religious themed Christmas kit, this has lots of good options. And if you're a fan of traditional carols, you can see all that is inspiring our stamp set there. All right, so there's your stamp set. Also in this kit, just like with the other, you do get 3 foam sheets for each of the 4 shapes. So you get 12 shakers in this kit, and of course you get the matching acetate covers to go with it. And one thing I should have mentioned earlier but didn't is that, of course, we have some add-ons. Here's a closer look at the outline dies. This is for the kit we've been talking about for our Silent Night kit. You can see these are optional because we have customers who want them and we have customers who don't want them. So we don't put them in the kits because some of our customers would prefer that the kit just be a lower price, and then they will either take their foam, such as this one, and they will trace around it to create their own background, or they will simply place this directly on their card and let their whatever papers are on their card front show through. But if you really want to cut your own separate paper and have it be fast and easy, the outline dies make that easy to create a background piece. Now, really, most of our shapes are pretty simple, and so it's not that hard to even just take this, peel off the adhesive liner, stick it down on a piece of paper, and then just trim it with some scissors. So we have customers in both camps, and so these are an optional add-on for you depending on which camp you're in. If you want them, they're available. And they do make it easier. They also make it easy to create your own, like if you lose a piece of acetate or if you're working on do-it-yourself refills, this is the shape or the die that you need to cut the acetate. That's the outline dies, and they are available also for our Naughty and Nice kit as well. You can see those here. Okay. Also available as add-ons, you can buy more foam. There is the extra refill for the Silent Night kit. And here is an example of the refills for the Naughty or Nice kit. I only have 2 sheets to show you, but it does come with 3. And then also available is our 6x6 solids that match the papers in the Naughty or Nice kit. And I believe it's sold as a double. You can get an additional refill of the pattern papers, and it comes with the nice solids that match and coordinate in perfect shades. You can see this one is a prototype of the cover. It's just a printout, so it's not the same size as this, but trust me, they will be the same size, 6x6. And you can see how beautifully the colors in the solids coordinate with all of the papers in our pattern paper pad. Whew. Can't say that too fast. Okay, so let's take a look at a few of the samples that our designers made with the Silent Night kit. Some real beauties in there too. So let's go take a look at that. Okay. Here, this one is from Greta. Here is her take on the Peace Dove. And she opted to put the peace die underneath and match it with a sentiment instead of just putting it across the dove, which is another beautiful way to do that. And here is a look at how she used the new star. You can see it's a nice big shaker. You can really make it literally the star of the show here. And here is Linda's take on the Noel shaker, and that beautiful kind of Moroccan styled tile look here. And I love that she chose to use a plaid-ish type of background paper there. I think it just really sets off the shape. Lots of geometric lines going on there, and it looks gorgeous like that. I'm seeing this particular die used a lot by our designers. It must be a new favorite. I also love here that she's a little ahead of the game here. I haven't shown the new foundation dies yet, but Linda, here you can see this little border that she's created with the Christmas lights. You can see that she has woven that onto this card as well. Beautiful job. She also took the olive branches that are part of the dove shaker, and she's added them as greenery here at the top of her ornament. And then this bow, I think, is from one of our previous holiday kits. Let's see, which one would that be? It is not coming to me, but it is from one of our previous kits, and I'm not sure if it's Heartfelt Holiday. I think it might be Heartfelt Holiday, but don't quote me on that. But there are lots of bows in our bow foundations or other Christmas kits that would work. So beautiful job, Linda. Great paper choices there. And from Greta, look at this is how the manger scene comes together. You can see how it looks when you cut your paper for the hay, one in front and one behind. And then she took that star, the inner piece star from the star shaker, and used it here on the manger scene, which is really cute. And I love her little night scene of all these other stars up here that she cut from various other, and I think these are also epoxies, yes, epoxy stars too. So she sprinkled all that in together to complete her night sky there, which is really fun. And also from Greta, here's her take on that ornament shaker with the Noel across it. And also with the same thing with the olive branch dies. They make a great greenery die as well. And I love how she used the buttons from one of our most recent foundation die releases. I want to say it's either 28 or 29. I think it's 29, but I could be 28. Those look really pretty. And I love her little pearl accents. It's such a great little, almost inconsequential, but yet not inconsequential accent there. I love the way that they just kind of offset and enhance her buttons. So pretty. Okay, and also from Linda, she again is worked in a couple of these new foundations, and I'm going to show you that set coming up. This is her take on the manger scene, and you can see how she's added these 3 trees. I'll give you a closer look at them in a minute. And she also opted to use that center star as an accent on her manger scene. And what pretty choices in paper too. Really lovely. Okay, and that's jumping ahead again. So let's go back to the desk. Let me show you our final product being released tonight. Move these dies around a bit. And let's bring this over. I have a printout of them. Yeah, here we go. So let's start with this one first. This kind of gives you a look at just how many dies. There's a whole lot here. And here is a little bit of artwork, just kind of giving you some ideas of what things maybe kind of come together. Here you've got your 3 large snowflakes. These are larger, especially like these 2, larger than the ones in our previous holiday foundation die set. Real showstoppers if you want that just to be the focal of your card and let it shine. I'll show you some examples of how our designers use that, but you want a nice big snowflake, we have some really fun and beautiful options for you now. Also, just some whimsical little trees. These are each a little different from each other, but yet they all have those little cutouts to kind of let your background paper shine through. Or if you want, you can see some of our designers, they cut a little background piece to use, like if you want red to show through or some other color. There's lots of fun options you can do, and it gives it that cool texture and things. But maybe you want a more traditional look. You have this particular tree option as well. And you do have a die that includes several stars that can be mixed and matched with our various trees here, as well as a die that cuts all these little circles that can be used on your trees, or also on this fun die here, which is another fun little nesting, it looks like nest circles, right? But like a little wreath, different than the ones we've done in the past. And you have some fun circles that could be used on that if you wish. We have a different poinsettia. We've had others in the past. This one's a little larger, a little more detailed. And look at all the fun layers. You have these fun, beautiful leaves as a base layer. You need to cut that a couple times to get that many, should you want that many. But then you have 2 layers of this fun red petals, and then this final layer on top can be done in a lighter color of red or white or gold or something pretty there. So a really beautiful showstopper piece for your cards. And like we showed you before, on one of Linda's cards, we have this really fun border piece. This string of lights comes with a separate die for the lights and a separate die for the strand, giving the chance to be able to cut different colors and really customize how that looks. And another set of little trees, just a fun little accent. I really designed this set of foundation dies to make your Christmas cards come together fast and easy. Our previous holiday foundations were kind of a little more about giving you accents to go with other kits, and certainly you can do that with this kit, but also this kit really, I was trying to give you some fun center pieces for your cards, so that if you don't want to always do a shaker card, or if you want to knock out 50 or 100, or some of our customers are amazing and 100, 200 cards, and you want something that can be kind of faster, but yet still show and still be a gorgeous card. That was kind of the thinking behind the dies in this particular set of foundation dies. Is fun options to be the center focal point of your cards, don't take as much time as shaker cards. So, or as great accents to your shaker cards, however you decide you want to use them. Let's look at the dies themselves here. So I kind of have them grouped. I'll kind of spread them out as we talk about each group. There are the large dies for your snowflakes in 3 sizes. There is that fun wreath or nesting circle die. Here is your largest of the Christmas trees. Plus, these are your little circles if you want to add ornaments or lights to your tree, or these other trees that are in the kit too, or excuse me, in the set. Here are your 3 kind of skinny alpine type of trees, and a set of stars that could work with any of the trees if you wish. Here are our slightly more whimsical trees here. And there are about the same height, give or take, but different cuts on them, different shapes. And then here, as I was mentioning earlier, is your poinsettia. So this I would probably cut 3 times if you want it to look like the example picture, to get all of your leaf pieces on there. And then these are your 2 layers for your petals. And then this final layer here, kind of your stamens, or I guess it could be petals too, but your final accent layer that goes on top. And then last but not least, up here, there are your Christmas lights. You can see that those little indentions, or not indentions, little extensions on the cord help you kind of with placement of your lights. You've got the fat end of your light that will go on those little places where indicated. And if you cut that out of a couple different colors, you can mix and match and make a pattern to your lights on there. So those are the new Holiday Foundations 2 that is also being released tonight. So some real fun options for Christmas card making. Let's take a look at a few samples of what can be made with those cards. And first up that I kind of snuck in earlier is this really beautiful one by Greta, where she did exactly like I was mentioning before, making that poinsettia the star of her show. Now, of course, she didn't stop there because Greta's amazing. And she took that Christmas light strand and made it her background by making it kind of a tone-on-tone white color with this really, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of small, but it's glitter paper for her lights. And then she sprinkled in a few clear bling around that too. So what a beautiful centerpiece in the poinsettia, and also what an absolutely gorgeous look with all of these fun white Christmas lights. Really stunning card by Greta. And I didn't mention it when we were looking at the dies, but you have a lot of detail on these dies, stitch marks and whatnot to make them really stand out. So you can see all this texture from Greta's card, even though she's really kept the color simple. These dies make it easier to go ahead and do that, to have that effect. All right, speaking of Greta, here is what she's done with our beautiful tree dies. She took our skinny alpine trees and matched them with our larger, kind of more traditional alpine tree, and cut that out of glitter foam. So she's got this great glitter going on. She's got this great texture going on from the glitter foam. I think she even used a different glitter foam or glitter paper for her little banner back here, as well as her stars on top of the trees. Isn't that just pretty? And this is one of the bows from our bow foundation set, which again, just pretty additional texture. Such a gorgeous classic card. And here's a look at the more whimsical trees in that foundation die set. You can see how she's got all three of those trees cut out, and then she did just cut out some red glitter paper to go behind them and to show through those holes. You could have, she could do that, or she could have cut this whole piece behind the trees out of red glitter paper, and it would have shown through that way too. So lots of fun options. I think I'll have to ask her, but I think she also added a few little accents in bling there, but maybe not. Need to get a closer look at the real card myself. But she's got her three stars there in gold mirror paper, I believe. And then again, a fun look at how she used the Christmas light strand. I think she decided to use them more like light bulb shaped. So she's got them actually with the skinny side attached to the wire. So two fun ways to use that particular strand of light die. And here, she decided to layer one of our poinsettia dies on top of the snowflake dies. And look, again, she's done this gorgeous tone on tone. She's got an embossed star background with this beautiful, I don't know if, is it glitter foam? I think it's just cardstock, but it might be glitter or textured in some way because it looks really pretty, almost looks flocked from the picture. And then she's mixed in all of these fun little mirrored stars. She's got the mirrored snowflakes, as well as the fun little mirrored little tiny stars and accents that she's added from other kits. Matter of fact, this one, this even looks like it might be the center of the wheel from the Naughty or Nice kit. I'll have to ask her. She maybe added that as the center to hers. Or is it from the die? Nope, it's from the die. Yep, okay, I just looked at the center of the poinsettia die. It does have that fun little stitch mark around the edges, so I think that's what she's done here. But either way, what a fun mix of texture and color and metallic and white or flocked. It's just what a beautiful way to put together a Christmas card. And the sentiment she's using there is from one of our Christmas Endless kits, I believe. And again, having more fun with those Christmas lights. She's done an entire backdrop of her card in those strands of Christmas lights, plus a fun little poinsettia, a little simpler, only using just 2 of those poinsettia dies. So a really fun and classic card with great color. And then here you can see she mixed those same poinsettia dies with the wreath dies. Isn't that pretty? And I love her layers on here. She's got all kinds of good color and texture and papers going on here. So fun and beautiful. But you can see how easy it is to create a focal point using these new foundation dies. Really, really fun. All right, so tonight, let's take just a moment and let me set these aside. Question, as I set up what we're going to do next, what has been some of your favorite things you've seen tonight? Is it the Naughty or Nice kit? Is it, and if so, tell us which of the shapes are catching your eye in this kit, or is it the Silent Night kit? And if so, which one of the shakers is your favorite from that? Or is it from our new foundation dies, our Holiday Foundation 2 set? And if so, what's your favorite? Or maybe you like all 3. Just tell me your favorites from all 3. But tonight, again, like I said, I've only had this kit just a short while, and so I did go through and prep cutting all of the shapes out, and I thought we could have some fun putting, a couple together. Let's see here, maybe more than that. Let me grab my glue. And we'll have fun just kind of seeing how these come together. Where should we start? Should we start with the ice skates? I think those are going to be a favorite. Let's go ahead and start with the ice skates. So with the ice skates, it usually works out best to cut two because you want it to look like a full set. But of course, only one of them is going to be the shaker. Oh, I lost my berries. Come out. There we go. But if you want to cut two, then that way you'll have one to be a non-shaker to go behind it in order to be able to kind of complete the look. And then just the top one will be the shaker. So let's go ahead and let's assemble the one that will just be on the bottom first. Blue bottle's a little gross. Go ahead and clearing that off. How embarrassing. Your glue bottle get gross? I guess, I keep refilling the same bottles over and over again, so maybe the whole bottle is not super attractive, but it gets the job done. All right, so let's do the non-shaker first. And so to do that, I used an outline die there, and I'm going to take this little top layer and glue that on top of it. Kind of a shame you go to a lot of work to put this bottom layer together, only to have the shaker one on top kind of cover up a lot of it. But that won't matter, it'll still look good. Okay, next we'll take one of these little red accents to just kind of highlight accent colors on this particular ice skate. And I chose red to look like the example. Of course, you could go with any color that you want. I was thinking with this card, I'd probably make it more of a traditional Christmas card. Thus, you'll see all of the greens and reds with the color choices here. And then for this, I guess, it probably would have been easier if I had actually added the, what do you call it, the little skate thing underneath the red piece. Probably should have done that. We'll do that on the next one. This one's going to be kind of behind everybody else, so behind the other one, so we won't worry about that. But when you assemble them, you'll get it right. Take your silver piece and add it before you add your red piece. Okay. Now let's add our little piece of laces up here at the top of our skate. That's going to go along the curve of the skate up here. There we go. Nudge that over just a bit. There we go. Okay, that's going to be our bottom skate layer there. It's like I said, it's just going to peek out behind the other. Now for this one, because we're creating the shaker portion, I'm going to take my foam and add it to the piece I cut out with my outline die. And then I can pop open the center, pop out the center. Now I have my well. Now, like I said before, I am going to be sticking with traditional Christmas colors. So let's bring over some of our topping choices from the kit. And I think I'm just going to go with some green, white, and red pearls to go in there. I could just go plain white, so not to distract too much from the ice skate itself. But I think I'm going to add a little bit of each. It's not a very big shaker piece, so you don't need very much. We'll add just a couple of these. Because it's a small shaker and I'm adding 3 colors, you just need a handful of these. Oops. You can see mine are brand new, just opened them, and they're still a little bit staticky. Normally, I would take the bag. Well, maybe we will on the other since I already opened that one. We'll do this one. But Texas, where I live in the Houston area, it's pretty humid. It doesn't take too long for them to settle down. But I'm going to take it and kind of, you could probably hear it when I blow in the mic a little bit, but I'm going to... Sounds funny, but it works. Get a little bit of just your breath in the bag, and it will help settle down some of your static. That tends to work well, although I'm dropping them because I have a camera making it hard for me to reach the way I normally would, but that's all right. We'll get the escapees in there too. Maybe I'll just use my fingers so that I don't have the camera making it so I'm spilling. So just a few. And then same thing here with the red. We'll tame the static a bit first. I can reach in here and grab a few of these little pearls and add them to the center here. There we go. I might just add just a couple more of the white. Let's add just a little bit more there. I don't want it so full that they can't move around. I'm not. I think Marianne says she's an overstuffer when she does it. I'm kind of more of a medium stuffer. I'm not light, but definitely like to have enough that they show up, but I definitely like them to roll too. And I think I still need a few more of the green. It's always a guessing game as I start to fill up my shakers. I'm definitely known for putting some extras in or taking some out, depending on how they start looking like they're coming together. That's looking pretty good to me. Maybe we'll zoom in here just a bit while I work on these. Okay, so our pearls are in. Now we just need to grab our acetate covers. And mine are still in the package here. Let's pull that out. And where is all of my skates? There they are, right in the middle. Okay, so you get 3 of each shape, but I only need 1. There is my skate. Now, before I go any further, I am going to try to tame a little static here by taking my little spray bottle. This is just a little fine mist spray bottle, and I'm going to spray just a little bit over my project because I know they're pretty staticky. So I'm gonna spray in the air, almost like a teenager doing perfume. Spray in the air and then move the shaker through the mist. I'm not trying to soak it or get it really wet, but I do want just a little fine mist on that, as well as, I don't know if it'll show up or not, maybe it won't. You can kind of sort of see. I also misted in the air and then wove my acetate through there. And maybe you can kind of see there's a very light mist on that acetate, and that makes it so much easier to contain any static issues that might come up. So as I remove that, you should be able to see that my little pearls are not going to bounce around and dance on top of my acetate. Because we did that misting, they're going to roll around the way we want them to. There we go. Looking good. All right. Now, like I said earlier, now we're going to take our skate part of our what would that be called? The blade? Yes, the blade part of our skate. And here, I'm going to get out the picture to make it easier for you to see where we're headed with this. And I'm going to stick that to the skate before I put the red accent down to make it much easier to glue that on. What I should have done earlier, but I have a hard time when I'm talking and trying to stay on camera of remembering all the steps for how things come together. Much easier when it's just me in my craft room by myself. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick those little tabs onto the front of our skate. I'll just hold that in place as it starts to dry. Good. Now the red accent layer to hide our gluing. There we go. Oh, told ya. You're probably yelling at me. First this one, then the red accent layer. Get all the layers in there proper. Okay. And this will hide the little tabs on there as well. So I guess it doesn't matter if you do it before or after the red piece. When I'm designing the dies, I think about it in great detail, the steps for layering and things. However, by the time we actually get them produced and out to you as a kit, usually 4 months or more has gone by. And so if I go back and try to remember how I designed them, that's part of the reason that I put together the die guides. They're not just for customers, they're also for me. Okay. Go. Let's nudge that over just a bit. And down just a bit. There we go. Our red accent die on there. Okay. Now we need our little shoelaces there at the top. And then you can choose if you want the bow or the little holly. And I'm going to put both of them on. But again, those would be optional depending on the effect you're going for. There we go. And then of course, when you get ready to put them on a card, I will also layer them together. Probably something along those lines. But let's get the bow on the top of the laces there. And you could potentially cut 2 bows if you wanted to, but it seemed like a bit of visual overkill for me at the moment. We're just going to add our 1 bow there at the top, and then especially because we're doing the holly. And oops, I'd already lost all my little dots. Since we're going to add the holly, 2 bows would probably really be overkill. Oop, and there is where I put my holly berries. Let's get those glued on. You can see how easily that shape came together. Could potentially also add bling instead of these little berries that come in the kit as a die. You want a little more texture or a little more something, but there we have it. So there's our ice skates. Aren't they pretty? So ice skate shakers complete. What else shall we do? Should we do the car? Or this, okay, we'll do the sled. Hard to choose, so many fun choices. Now, I don't normally bag all these up unless I was maybe going to go to a crop or something, but in order to make sure that I didn't get too far out of into crazy land with forgetting how things come together, I did bag them up. I didn't want all of the pieces for one shape going all over the place while I was trying to work on another. Okay, so this one, because we only have to do 1, we can go straight to the foam, peel off the backer there, line that up with my piece cut with the outline die. And see, this is another piece that would be pretty easy with scissors to just stick it to a, roughly cut a rectangle, add your foam, take your scissors and trim around. So if you're in the non-outline die camp, this is an easy one not to have to worry about that with. Gates are a little more complicated, but not too bad. Okay, pop out the center of that. Now for this, I'm going to probably go with pearls again. I really like pearls in the Christmas kits. I think you can see that Wendy does too. She often adds them. So let's add some of those same colors we were using before. I think I'm going to ditch the spoon and just go with my finger for now. This one's a little bigger, so we'll add a little bigger of a shaker. We'll add a few more than we did with the ice skate. And you know what? I think with this one, I might even throw in some of these too. It's hard to know. Oftentimes when I'm sitting down to make my shakers, I've already kind of thought a little bit about my cards. And so I kind of already know what papers I might use at least, or at least have an idea. And I think with this one, I might actually throw in some of the blues. Maybe vote in the comments. What do you think? I might actually add in some of the diamonds, because you can see in the greenery that I've cut, I chose that slightly more aqua, or maybe even more of a, that's not really turquoise either. I don't know, what would you call it? Teal colors here to add with our accents. So maybe I'll go in with some of the diamonds just to kind of get a feel for that color being tied in. And then some of these white pearls. I don't really want too much of the shaker items in there. I want them to be in there, but I don't want them to do too much because I'm going to put all this greenery up here in the corner. And then, of course, it's a sled. If I add in too much of all these toppings, sometimes it makes it a little hard to tell exactly what the original shape was. I'm going to add in just a little bit more of these with diamonds. There we go. Just enough to help them sprinkle that color around. You know what? Since we have one set of diamonds in there, maybe I'll even add a little bit of these red ones too. Again, I don't want it to be too full, but just to kind of make it so that there's not just one color that's diamonds, because as you can see, the pearls are going to roll around a little better than the diamonds will. And now that I've added some of those red diamonds in there, it doesn't leave all of the... put clear into. I always love clear pearls. It doesn't leave just the one color by itself as it rolls around. And these white ones will, or clear ones will kind of help with that too. But as they roll, I still have a little bit of a color mix. Okay, that's fun. Gotta stop though, getting full. Okay, put those toppings aside. All right, and let me find my acetate cover from my set of covers I pulled out earlier. There we go, there's one. I'm gonna do the same light misting trick that I did before with taking these little accents, or this little spray bottle, misting the air, and then moving my project through that mist and not spraying it directly. I am not spraying directly on my project. That's why I can't show you on camera that I'm doing that, because if I just sprayed it, it would be not good. So taking my spray bottle, I'm going to do the same thing in the air. I'm waving my acetate layer like this through that mist. And now you can see that it's going to help me tame any static. Although already, just having had those bags already opened here in lovely humid Houston, it has already cut down on the static of my toppings already. Oftentimes, it actually is more of the winter that I have to pay attention to that. Not because it's not humid outside still, but because we run the... I didn't get that lined up right, so I'm going to pull that up and try that again. Because we run the heater, it dries the air out. So I have more... Oh, a little bit of dust. I have more issues with static in the winter than I do in the summer. How about you? Is a static a factor for you as well? Or does your weather actually help with that? As far as I've been able to figure out, that is the only good thing about Houston's humidity, is that it helps my shaker card making. Everything else about it I don't like. I still wasn't 100% straight, but it was enough that all I need is a simple little trim and we're good to go. All right, now this particular shape has two runners that go underneath the shaker part. So I'm going to get those glued on next. I'm going to do them one at a time just to kind of help me keep them where I want them. And if you look at the paper, you'll have a die cutting guide that will show you this. Kind of helps you see that they go slightly inside of the sled itself, but not too far. You can see you do need to have a little bit poking out the back. Not a lot. Got a lot more going on at the front than at the back. I'm going to go with something kind of like that. Now let's get it straight. About like that. Okay, now let's do the other runner. Runner blade, what would you call that on a sled? The part that you hit the snow with. I guess runner maybe. Okay, so same thing. I want it to be about the same length. I've got this camera right where it makes it hard to see. But something around there. Oh, I'm going to have to adjust that a little bit. They're the same length. There we go. Pretty close. About where I want them, I think. Good. Okay. Now let's glue our top layer on our sled. And then we can decorate a little bit. Maybe I'll put... It's kind of a toss-up. I don't really want anything to leak out. But I also don't want the middle pieces coming up. So a real light layer of glue on those middle pieces so they won't squeeze out. With all of these real skinny pieces going onto acetate, it would be easy to have it leak out. And you can see it did a little bit there. And you know, it's not too bad to use your fingernail or a little tool and get that off, but you have to be light-handed if you're gluing to acetate, because the acetate won't absorb it the way paper will. All right. Now we do have this little, what is this called? The little top piece of our sled here. Can you tell I didn't grow up doing a lot of sledding? I grew up in the Bay Area of California, so not a whole lot of sledding there, although occasionally we would drive to the mountains for sledding. Okay, so right across the top of our sled. So as a decorative accent would definitely have been more how I would have seen it than using it. Mostly when we went sledding, we were using inner tubes. Glue everywhere. Okay. And then this piece here is our little like rope, and you can do it one of two ways. You can put it up here like this, like if you're gonna like hang it or just have it going that direction, or you can flip it over and glue it like this if it's moving towards your rider. So I'm gonna actually this time I think flip it to the top. But it's only going to have a little bit of glue just kind of where it makes a little X here. And that's where it will be attached. Oh, hey buddy, just a minute, okay? Mom's doing a meeting here. I have a very wonderful and amazing son who has special needs, and he likes to come say hi a lot, which I love. That's one of the great things about working from home. But at the moment, I tell him, he understands what a Zoom meeting is. And even though this isn't quite a Zoom meeting, that's what he remembers from COVID times, about him and his siblings all being home at the same time, trying to do school on Zoom meetings. So we explain that we're trying to do a Zoom meeting. He understands what that means. So he'll come back in a little bit. Okay. Let's get some of these fun greenery items added. Just kind of as a little accent, almost as if this was a sled that you're going to use as an accent on the wall instead of to ride. And again, this is optional. You could leave it off. But it sure makes for a pretty card, having all these little greenery pieces. And I cut a whole bunch all at once out. You can kind of see in this bag here. I just cut out a whole bunch so that I could easily and quickly go and grab it when I'm putting together these cards. I cut a whole bunch out of each color all at once. It sure makes it easier to have them ready to go. Let's see, this holly piece, am I going to use it? I might skip that piece. And here's a little red bow for us to add. Right there at the base. And then I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of red around this piece of greenery. It has, let's see, a few options for berries. And then I'm going to use my little jewel pick here to help me control where those land. Let's see. There we go. Great little tool for helping with little tiny pieces like this. Let's go ahead and stick that where I need them. Okay. Maybe one more. Let's do one more, right? Just to kind of scatter that around. We'll leave one of them green. You can see how fun that comes together. You can see how the greenery color and the little bit of teal or aqua that I used in the greenery helps tie together those shaker toppings. But isn't that fun? Can't wait to get that on a card. Okay, well, that's the kind of the general idea. Now, there's, of course, others we could do. The Naughty or Nice meter is a lot of fun. You've got your Santa, the car, Santa sack. But that's kind of the general idea of how they come together. They're a lot of fun. And I can't wait to also do Silent Night. Same concept with Silent Night. These are going to be awesome cards, and I can't wait to show you next week what I was able to put together over the weekend. But I do hope you'll check them out. And also, since you stuck with me this long, you definitely should be rewarded for that. And the first, before we get to the sneak peek of an upcoming item, let me, well, first of all, just thanks for coming tonight. We are so appreciative of our customers, and I love that you guys will join me. And I'm looking forward to joining you live in the comments during this whole thing, because it's so fun to talk to all of you. We have the best customers. I consider many of you to be coming just like friends to me. I love hearing about you and your lives and the things you share in our Facebook group. And speaking of the Facebook group, every month we run a sketch contest where we post new sketches using our traditional, our numbered foundation dies. And last month, again, if you heard me mention earlier, there was a medical emergency in my family, and it took me away from some of the things I would normally be doing. And of course, there's no place I would have rather been, but I did not get up in a timely fashion our November sketches. But I went ahead and did kind of a double batch or something similar for November and December. They're going to get posted tomorrow, but you're getting a quick look at them now. If you join our sketch contest, which we highly encourage, you have a chance to win just because we randomly select those who participate a Queen & Company gift card. And we would love to have more people join there. And this one will close actually at the end of the year. So you have most of November and all of December. It's a busy time of year, so we thought this is a good time to have extra time, especially since we're starting the November one late. Instead of just giving you 3 weeks, we'll go ahead and give you about 7.5. Okay, so that'll be posted tomorrow. So just so you know, check out the sketches. You can see we're up to 256. If you have our foundation dies, then you know how awesome it is to be able to just grab a binder or notebook or a file on your computer or phone, flip through, pick a sketch, and just go. Many of these sketches would be awesome with some of these shapes in this new sets. So, you know, lots of room here for things and lots of places to put your decorative elements. Switch out to these flowers. You could switch out some of the greenery in this. Lots of fun options. So check out the numbered sketches. They are in the Facebook group, Queen and Company Royalty. Along the top of the group, you've got some different tabs, or if you're on your phone, you can scroll through and click on different things. One of them is labeled Files. Look for new numbered sketches, and I'll put the number, whatever number is in that file, and you can go grab those if you haven't already. Okay, and last but not last tonight, here is a sneak peek at an upcoming shape in an upcoming kit. So more to be revealed, but we thought maybe, since we all love paper crafting so much, we might have another love among our fans. I know that I have had some fun with quilting in the past. My mother is an avid quilter, and so this is inspired by her. But there's some fun items coming up in an upcoming kit for early 2025, and you're getting the first look at them because you hung out with me tonight. So thanks for joining. I hope that you will have a lot of fun with the release of our Naughty or Nice kit, or and I lost the paper, there it is, the Silent Night kit here, or our new Holiday Foundation Dies #2. Don't forget, I was going to do a demo, huh? Well, you might have to look at the little demo that I posted in the Facebook group. It's about time for me to end the video, but this is our free with purchase item. This is our fun little cleanup vacuum. And if you spend $150 before discounts and not including shipping or taxes, then there it is. You can get this as a free gift with purchase tonight. And this handy, fun little vacuum is great for cleaning up the messes we make when we spill toppings all over, or if you end up with a million little pieces, little pieces like that size, all over your desk from your die cutting. This fun little vacuum is a fun and easy way to quickly clean up. And I especially like it with toppings, because then you can just pour them right back into their container afterwards. Really awesome. Or just take it, if it's full of little pieces of die cutting, you can dump it over your garbage can. So free with I said 150, sorry. Free with $125 order. So go check that out on the website. Thanks for joining me tonight. Everyone have a wonderful weekend, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you projects made with all of these fun shakers next week. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye.